Oh, it's a fresh one this morning. They were calling for frost last night. I guess winter's coming. Oh, that's looking good. Need to turn the heater on. So you'll notice that Graham actually came out and finished up the pinstripes on there. Doesn't that look sharp? Yeah, that snowman's really starting to take shape now. Really happy with that. So still waiting on a couple things. Still waiting on the wheels to get polished up from Spectrum. Oh yeah, I was successful in my hunt for some additional split rings. So my friend Jeff from Montana, he actually found a couple rings that one of the trucks that he had, and so he zip tied them together and he UPS'd them up to me, and I got them over to Cal Tire and they mounted them, no issues. So we're good on tires now, but like I was saying, I'm still waiting on the polished rims from Spectrum, so I can go ahead and put these on the inside, but we still need the other 6 to come back, and then the battery box cover and the toolbox cover. So, and the exhaust, that's the other thing. So I stopped in at Lesco, and the exhaust pipes, the elbow, they've got one, I think, right side elbow, the one that comes out and then makes this goofy bend around the bunk and then goes up. But the left side one, they're on back order. So who knows when we're going to get that. So that's an absolute kicked out at the knees from taking this truck to the show. I mean, I guess I could drive it like this, but we'll hold off. We'll hold off till next year. So this truck will get there. Hopefully we have the trailer and the wrap and all that done. I'm working that on the side as well. But yeah, so sorry for everyone that wanted to see Snowman this year. It's not going to happen, but we'll see you at Lesco 2023. So with that, this is actually the last Saturday before the show. So I've got a little bit of work to do. I've got to clean up little by little. It's looking pretty rough. And hook it onto the trailer, clean up the trailer, and do a bunch of work there, and then we'll head to the show next week. But looking forward to that. So I obviously put some lights on the bumper. I put that bumper on last week. There's a few more lights that I want to add to little by little, and a big shout out to Beggar Industries. They're out of Manitoba, and I reached out to Daryl. This is his company. And he's a truck fabricator, and he's got his own custom shop, and he builds a whole bunch of really cool stuff. So I said, you know what? I don't have any lights inside the cab little by little. So he made me these custom stainless watermelon lights in blue. So I'm looking forward to mounting those and get those in the cab. And then he also sent me a shirt too. That's awesome. Thanks, Daryl. And then he also sent me these mounts for the signal lights. Because if you recall, I've put on, I'm kind of doing, everyone's like, oh, you got a nice 379 there. Yeah, I know. This is the custom truck. This is my toy. I'm not doing this up like an original 359. So I always like the idea of having lights on the mirrors. So I put these on, I don't know, a couple years ago. But they don't really look that fancy. I mean, they're meant to be a fender light. And so I reached out to him and he said, look, I'll send you some mounts. So he makes these custom mounts. And they'll go on there like that, and then we'll have the watermelon light, which will just be a signal light sticking out the side. We'll mount those and see how those look. And yeah, like I say, we'll just get little by little ready for the show, and yeah, hope to see you all there. Yeah, I think LVL could use some paint. Maybe that'll be this winter's project. Okay, I should probably save these because I might use them on the Iron Duke. Like I always say, truckers love lights and shiny things. You never have enough lights on your truck. Now, do I want to mount it directly to that nut there, or extend it out a little? Yeah, I gotta build a pork chop express someday. Actually, the real pork chop express is, they found it. It was a working stock on a farm somewhere in the States, and some guy in the UK bought it. And he's taking it to truck shows now. There, maybe something like that. Parallel with the front fender. Yeah, I think that'll look good. But when you clean your shop, you end up finding all your cool tools that you thought you lost. Like these ratchet combination wrenches. You know, the only thing that I had wrong with those lights that I had on here was I had it wired, and if you watch the videos, you've noticed that every time I step on the brakes, they light up. So I need to figure that out. Now, the lights, the wiring on these old trucks, the tail lights the brake lights and the signal lights share the same wire. So I don't know if I can actually make this work. I'm sure there's a way. Okay, so turn on the signal light. Yeah. Something like that. Now maybe I just leave the black one off, but we might not have clearance lights. Yeah, I haven't wired the clearance lights. What I can do is wire it to this black wire and then eliminate the brakes, because that's probably where the brakes coming in. Alright, so I got to do a little bit of chasing wires. I can't remember what I did here a couple years ago, but again, somehow I got the light tied into the brake light, and I just want it tied into the clearance light. So should be pretty easy to correct, but it's kind of dark in here. And shout out to Hyperlight. They reached out to me and said, hey, is there anything we can do to help you out with your shop? And I said, you know what? I've already got wicked shop lights, but I could use, I was looking on their site, I could use a shop light. They sent me this minty looking bug zapper light, which will be very helpful as I'm crawling underneath trucks, or even in, like I say, in the cab right now. And that it's nice because it's LED, it's bright, and then it also won't break. Because I remember the old days when I'd have the old trouble light with the incandescent bulb, and if you bonked it against anything, your bulb would go out and you have to get a new bulb. All right. Whoa! Now that's bright. You can go blind. All right. Now I should probably try and hang it somewhere. That is going to work good. Leave it up on the seat there. All right, seeing stars here. Okay, so that wire's coming in. It goes to. All right, I'm just playing musical wires with the junction box in the back, trying to find the one. I didn't use color coding, and I used a lot of different lines. Were all black. That's kind of. Yeah, that's clearance light. What's dim? Maybe because I got it on there loose. So at least I got the right one. Oh yeah. Fixed. Yeah, I'm really digging that. That's a much cleaner and cooler install than what was on there before. That's sweet. Thanks, Daryl. Okay, now just like everything else on these trucks, what you do once, you got to do twice. So off I go to do it again on the other side. All right, since I'm over here, I'm going to add something I've always wanted to add. A smoke mirror. Now this isn't for looking behind you. This is for looking up. Gonna mount it right there. And what you do is while you're in the truck, if you get the right angle, you can see how much cheech or coal you're rolling out of the pipes while you're driving along. I'll try and catch a clip of it when I'm driving to the show next week. All right, smoke mirror installed. Man. Okay, on to the next thing. These lights mounted, and then I'll start cleaning this truck out and hook onto the trailer. But here's where I was thinking I'd mount them on both sides, because the nice blue watermelon lights would just put a nice glow from both sides, and the whole cab would glow blue. I also thought of maybe putting them here, but that gets tricky, because I'd have to put nutserts in and then screw it in from the bottom. And then how do I get the wires? I'd have to drop the speakers and all that. Yeah, I think just on the side will work. Yeah, so Daryl sends these things out pre-wired with a 3-way switch, and there's different ways to wire it up. So I wanted to make sure I got it straight before I actually get up there in the truck on what goes where. So I think he was saying if you power the middle here, the black one, white's ground. Black is if you want the door switch, and I don't have door switches in there. I gotta add that on another date, so that could be added later, so the lights come on when you open the door. But I think I'll put power to the center here. And let's see. Put that on the ground. And then let me turn the switch on, Mark. Okay, so that's red. Oh, yeah, there we go. Blue. That's kind of cool. I could have red or blue depending which way I wanted to go. How's that song go? Now these are pretty slick because he actually has nutserts put right into the stainless panel. So you got to take the lights off, peel the protective cover there to get it shiny, and then put it back on. Well, what I'll do is I'm going to use this as a template to mark out these 4 holes, and I'll drill those and then on both sides, and then I can peel this off. Okay, so this is a little more complicated than I thought it was going to be, because I never thought the wires have to go through, so I had to drill holes for the wires, and it's not the prettiest thing, but it's going to work. And then I had to drill a hole for the switch, and then I'm going to have to get in behind and put all of the wires in there. That's okay, though. We'll make it work. Actually, I wonder if I should take the fancy plastic off now that I'm bolting it into place. In. Okay. Oh man, that's nice. Got a mirror up there. If I had a do-over, I would definitely install this in the headliner before I put it in the truck. But of course, I'm making this up as I go along. So when I do the Duke and I get the headliner from the day cab company, I'll reach out to Daryl and we'll get some nice red lights, watermelon lights, and I'll actually mount them and cut the holes and have it all wired, because now what I got to do is I got to try and make all those connections in behind in this little gap, which is kind of a pain in the ass, but I'll make it work. I've come this far. Man, that looks sharp. I can't wait to see them lit up. All right, let's get at her. Let's talk more work. Okay, I have been spending entirely too much time on this project, but it'll be cool when it's done. The stuff you think's only going to take you an hour or two just seems to take forever. So I'm found a spot for ground up here, and then I found a and then I was smart back in the day when I was cleaning up the wiring in this truck, I had a couple wires here that said always hot. So that's exactly what I needed. It's probably the power for the old spotlights. Yeah. So I'm tapping into that. There we go. Good ground. Let's just twist these together and see if this thing works. Put a fuse in it just in case. Oh, nice! Ah, mint! Okay, so I'll run a wire over for the other side and we should be good to go. Right on. Alright, let's give her a go. Alrighty, we've got blue lights in the cab. And they are so bright. Okay. Well, I guess what I'll do now is clean up my mess and then maybe go in and have some lunch with Mrs. TwinSticks, and then I'll come back out and take the feed out and hook onto that trailer. But mission accomplished. Thanks so much to Baker Industries. Those are mint. Okay. I think what I'll do is start on the inside. I'll start cleaning the inside out, and then I'll get the car washer going, and I'll hose down the trailer and the truck and get her all shiny.
Put on your new blue jeans and we'll dance tonight to the songs that we love so. I'm gonna take you to a place that you'll like, called the Midnight Rodeo. You don't need money.
So I used some engine degreaser on the wheels. They didn't turn out too bad. And I found the only thing that I'm really getting clean off of the trailer is what I think is black mold. Probably water just came down and came over the bumps here, and then it would just kind of hang and then just mold over time. But the car washer's getting it off little by little. It's gonna look like a new trailer by the time I'm done. I tell you one thing though, I do not envy Graham at all. I mean, this is a lot of work just to wash the damn thing. I can't imagine how much time it's going to take to actually press that wrap over all these little bumps. But hey, puppies, can't wait for that. How's that TikTok go? If the top of your stacks don't look like that, you better lower your voice when you're talking to me.
Have a good time when you're feeling all alone, and I know you're gonna like what.
Oh, it is getting late in the day. I've been going since 7 this morning, and it's probably after 7 p.m. So it's been a pretty long day. But labor of love. Can't even hold a sponge anymore. You know, one of these days I got to get this grill over to Spectrum. Let's take the truck over there and let Stefan and the guys polish it up, because that's one thing that's missing. Or maybe what I'll do is bring out that Milwaukee buffing wheel I got. Maybe sand this down and see if I can't give it a little shine myself. But not tonight. Let's say, starting to run out of steam. But by golly, the truck's looking pretty sharp. May not be the prettiest bell at the ball, but I still think it's pretty cool. Alright, so it's pretty clean now, but there was one, now that I've got into the buffing, I thought I'd try and see if I couldn't get the glue that was left over. So I picked up this sleeper,
There was, which one do I want to use? Number one. There was a bunch of stickers here, like your gross and your tear weights and numbers. So I used a Doka disc to erase it, but you can still kind of see it there. So we'll see if this gets rid of it. Now I can still kind of see it. I wonder if I should do a little bit of wet sanding. Maybe that'll get it.
When I take you to the midnight rodeo.
Now just for kicks, I thought I'd put a little bit of rubbing compound and see what happens on the old door.
That's not too bad. Brought the shine back. I mean, it's still like polishing a turd. This truck still needs a full paint job, but that's amazing how you can take an old faded door like that and get it shiny again. Almost matches the sleeper. Okay, what do I still got to do? I gotta wet sand the other side and then polish that and polish the door, and then I think I am gonna be done. That's a long, long day. Okay, one final thing I wanted to put up. So I took down the hooker sign on the front there, and decided to put this up instead. Oh, nice. That ladder seems pretty safe. Man, is that ever looking sharp. We're all ready for the show. Can't wait to head over there next weekend. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Special thanks to Bagger Industries for the minty lights inside and the signals. To Hyperlight for my new shop light, LED shop light. That thing is as bright as the sun, so really appreciate that. And special thanks to Mike, the fan that brought me the new safety face shield. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up there. And like I always say, don't ever forget, if you got it, the trucker brought it.